Hey, how you doing? This is Pastor Maxwell, and I know you in the middle of the broadcast. Just got to give you this disclaimer. The young man that I pulled up and wanted to give the $500 to, he did not accept it. He could not accept it because as a civil servant, he can't accept more than a $25 gift. This is what upsets me about the government. They have a shutdown going on, and the president said he can endure a second shutdown if he needed to. Of course you can endure it. You still getting your check. You still flying in your jet. What I want to understand is people that work for the Coast Guard and these civil servants, they can't accept more than $25 and they're working for free to make sure that the country remains safe and to make sure that they have job security. I don't agree with this. I'm just letting you know to continue to pray for these individuals. I know some of them are going to get paid by Friday and some of them may or may not. Again, as I said in the broadcast, and maybe we'll just use this one, I don't know, but I knew that the shutdown was going to end before the Super Bowl. And then for you to put a 3-week time limit on it, that's telling me you still don't care about the people. Because Trump hangs around Kraft, who owns the Patriots, and because the Super Bowl is one of the biggest money-making days of the year, all right? Plus the NFL, if Hartsville-Jackson Airport, the busiest airport in the world, was to shut down on this weekend for the Super Bowl, how much money would they lose? How much money would they lose? It's all about money. I know we say in God we trust, but I believe we trust what is printed on more than we trust in him. And until this nation and to my evangelical brothers begin to put the kingdom over America, then we will never see. That's the whole thing. The Democrats got their problems, the Republicans got their problems, we all got their problems. But when we have evangelical preachers putting the gospel below America, to me it sounds almost like the KKK. You putting America first. You know, it said when I was a stranger, you let me in. When I was hungry, you fed me. And they said, when did you do this for me? When you did it to the least of these. Then he told the evil people, when I was hungry, you didn't feed me. When I was a stranger, you didn't take me in. So what side of the gospel are you going to be on? Are we going to continue to put America first, or are we going to put the kingdom first? This is my thing, okay? I love America. I'm in America. Although my ancestors were brought here the wrong way, this is the only land I know, so don't be sitting up here telling me to go back home. This is my home. You brought me here, live with it. But what I'm telling you is this. Until we begin to put the kingdom before America, America will never fall in line the way it's supposed to. I love y'all. I just had to say that and just let you know again, the young man did not accept that money. I put on the broadcast to show that we try to take care of the people, and I also wanted you to see it so you could understand this right here. He couldn't accept $500 worth of help, but politicians can take millions of dollars of support in their campaign from the NRA. And while black people, white people, Hispanic people getting shot, they still don't pass anything for gun laws. Maybe they need a $25 limit on what they can accept from the campaign. If you telling me that citizens, regular citizens who are hurting cannot accept more than $25. What is $25 going to do for them? This man drives from Newport News all the way to Matthews County. That's about 50 miles one way and comes back and still doesn't have a check and was looking for another job to make sure he can take care of his wife and his child. That makes no sense, America. Are you going to put the kingdom first or America first? Because remember, America first sounds like a racist statement to me. Visions together. Amen. Again, New Beech Grove, I told you all earlier, we are the official relief church for the Tidewater Peninsula Baptist Association. And although the furlough is over, some people won't be paid until Friday, so we'll be here from 10 to 5 still collecting items to make sure that we take care of those individuals who are affected by the shutdown. And again, I'm just going to say it on the air right now, and don't edit nothing. I do still believe that this government cares nothing about the people. I do believe that they're doing it mostly because of the Super Bowl, if not 100% of. Because for you to give a 3-week time, I mean, you could have shut it down a long time ago. I mean, you brought it back up. And the thing about it is, those who set these policies aren't affected whatsoever. Their insurance doesn't stop. Their paycheck doesn't stop. We need to begin to make sure that we vote a little more readily and make sure that they begin to pass some policies that affect them. Because if your leadership only affects other people and not yourself, then you're really not a pure leader to me. And I'm disappointed with this administration. I'm disappointed with the Democrats and the Republicans, to be honest. Because a lot of times when people are just doing ignorant stuff, we still leave them in office. Because I don't care if it was a Democrat or Republican. If Obama would have done half the stuff this president has done, 1/4, 1/10, he would not be in office. The racist rhetoric that goes on, and just the total regard of people. And like I said, Kraft, New England Patriots are going to the Super Bowl, and that's his boy. Atlanta is the busiest airport in the world, and the Super Bowl is coming up. And I've been saying this for 2-3 weeks, that was not going to make it to the Super Bowl. It was not, because it's all about money. It's all about money. And even in Ecclesiastes, it says money answers all things. But it's all about the money when it comes to this administration. It's all about the money when it comes to this government. Again, don't edit none of this stuff out. I definitely want to make sure that it makes the air, because at the end of the day, until you begin to speak out and to make sure that people hear it in the airways and byways of life, nothing would change. People thought King's speech wouldn't change, but when you begin to speak those things that be not as though they were. Now, don't get me wrong, I still pray for the president, because it says pray for your leaders. I pray for the president. I pray for his administration. I pray that God begins to send godly wisdom around him, and not just yes people, and not just people that try to do stuff to make sure they get in office. I just ask for God to begin to bring people into politics and into positions that care about the people more than they care about the vote. Because sometimes you may make a decision that the people don't like, and it may make you a one-term person. But at the end, you will go down in a good light after a while. Ford, he went down in good light after the fact. He made a hard decision. And sometimes leadership is making hard decisions where people don't understand what you're doing. Lord knows I know it as a pastor. I've seen a whole bunch of people that are still mad at me yesterday for moving their church to over here. You understand what I'm saying? So the thing about it is, it's not about being liked. It's about making decisions that's best for the people, best for the organization, best for America. And just as my friend, Pastor Freddie, over at Freedom Life Church in Hampton, my workout partner, he began to say, until America, evangelicals, put the kingdom before America, we're going to still be stuck. The thing about it is, we put America above the gospel. The gospel is above everything. And until we begin to put people in office who put the gospel above America, the gospel above race, the gospel above politics, we will continue to be in this place where we are right now. And the reason why I'm preaching this sermon, ask God to upgrade you, is because I definitely believe that you're supposed to be the head and not the tail, above and not beneath. And some of us have been hurt because of this shutdown. Some of us have been affected. Some of us, if we would have been affected because we live paycheck to paycheck, we'd be messed up too. I have an individual who rents my house in Atlanta, and I told her, when she get a check, go ahead and pay. But how many people are getting evicted because people just can't afford that? You understand what I'm saying? You understand what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is, I need you to listen to this sermon as I preach, no matter who you are, because you need this. Because if you miss one paycheck and you're going to be broke, you need to hear this. You need to have financial analysts. We began to talk about it on yesterday, Pastor Murphy. You're supposed to have 6 months in your bank account at least 6 months. And I know it's hard. Start saving. Don't buy a track every week. Don't buy Jordans every time they come out. Don't go to the club every week. Come on, somebody. Take your Heineken money and your Corona money and save it. And put it in a bank account, because you never know what's going to happen in this day and time. Amen? Anyway, let me get into this word, but I believe that still was a word. First Chronicles 4:9 and 10. First Chronicles 4:9 and 10. First Chronicles chapter 4 verses 9 and 10 read, "And Jabez was more honorable than his brethren. And his mother called his name Jabez, saying, Because I bear him with sorrow. And Jabez called on the God of Israel, saying, Oh, that thou wouldest bless me indeed, and enlarge my coast,
and that thine hand might be with me, and that thou wouldest keep me from evil, that it may not grieve me. And God granted him that which he requested. Lord, please help my words to help somebody. Help my words to convict, but not condemn. Help my words to uplift, but not to make us so bold that we forget about you. Lord, allow the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart to be acceptable in thy sight. O Lord, my rock and my redeemer. All of God's people said, amen. You may be seated in the presence of God. Again, I had to take some notes from Beyonce. Ask God to upgrade you. The importance of living a godly life day by day cannot be overemphasized. For walking through the day in righteousness, obedience, and prayer is the only kind of walk that is acceptable to God. When God accepts us and blesses us, he fills us with purpose, meaning, and significance. A reason for living floods our souls, and we are filled with a deep sense of satisfaction and fulfillment. Guilt, emptiness, loneliness, dissatisfaction, lack of purpose and fulfillment, none of these discouraging emotions or thoughts overpower or defeat us. Not if we are walking in the Lord, in fellowship with him, seeking and following him. Nothing compares to living life in the peace and security of the Lord. The most wonderful, amazing journey is open up to any person who would turn to the Lord and follow him day by day, no matter what their situation is. An individual that is a testament to trusting the Lord through the journey was Jabez. Listen to me, church. Jabez's Hebrew name in Hebrew means pain. His own mother spoke doom and gloom over his life. Apparently, the mother had given him the name for one of two reasons, either because his birth had caused her so much pain or because she viewed the world as being the place of suffering and pain. Hence, she named her son Jabez, pain, to symbolize the world in which he was being born. Consequently, he should have expected a life of trouble and suffering. However, Jabez did not use his underprivileged upbringing as an excuse to settle for a life of mediocrity, sorrow, and defeat. Can you imagine growing up with your name meaning pain? Can you imagine getting into a joint match and y'all going together, or you talking about your enemies? All they got to do is close out. Your name means pain. How many fights would you get into because of your name? People making fun of you. How many times would you allow yourself to get in circumstances because of your name? What have you let the world name you? What have you let people call you? Have you let people call you stupid, failure, liar, cheater? Even if you do those things, that ain't what you are. You need to begin to speak those things that be not as though they were, and not speaking the things you don't want, but speak the things that you do want. The problem is we speak all the time, but we don't speak what we want. We don't speak what we should have. The fruit of your belly is satisfied by your lips and your tongue. The power of life and death is in your tongue. And Jabez said, you know what? I don't care what my mama named me. I ain't dealing with it. But the heaviest burden of Jabez's name was how it defined his future. In Bible times, a man and his name were so intimately related that to cut off the name of an individual amounted to the same thing as killing him. A name was often taken as a wish for or a prophecy about a child's future. For example, Ephraim means fruitful in the land of my oppressor. Jacob means swindler, and we know how he tricked Esau out of his blessing. Solomon means peace, and he was the first king to reign in Israel without going to war. A name like pain did not speak promise to Jabez's future. To overcome the stigma of his name and perhaps the suffering of his mother and family, Jabez learned to pray. King would say that prayer, to be a Christian, and to be a Christian and not have a prayer life is to say that you living without breathing. You know what I'm saying? He said if a Christian doesn't pray, that doesn't make any sense. Just like saying if a Christian is still alive and a Christian does not have a prayer life, that's like saying that you're living without breathing. Basically saying if you're not praying, you're really not a Christian. Oh, come on, somebody. He prayed so much, Jabez, that he became known as a man of prayer, and his prayer life set him apart as being honorable and distinguished, for more so than his brothers. If you look in the book of Jabez, in the book of Chronicles, all you hear is this name begat this name, and this name begat this name, and this name begat that name, and this name begat that name. I ain't want to read all of it so you can bore you to death, but then they got to Jabez and said, but he was more honorable than everybody else. Come on, somebody. It don't matter what's going on in the world. It don't matter how many things are going on, how many things of insignificance are going on. If you begin to have a prayer life, you're going to make a mark in the world. Come on, somebody. Somebody is going to know your deeds. Somebody is going to know what you do. You know why? The people wanted us to be the church that begins to take in all of the people when they're in trouble with the TPBA, because we are a praying church. Come on, somebody. We're led by vision, and we don't worry about what everybody else thinks about us. We don't try to go to Africa every year like everybody. Some people go, but I don't go because that ain't my call. I send people. Sister Kimberly go all the time. She go to Haiti. Other folk go, but I don't go all the time. Why? Because that's not my vision. You got to begin to speak what God has called you and stop letting the world define who you are. Jabez said, I don't care that my mama named me Pain. I don't care that my mama said I'd never be anything. I don't care that she's mad at her baby daddy. I don't care if she's mad because I look just like my daddy. I don't care what they say. I'm going to be somebody. And if I could just have a fellowship with God, come on, somebody. The songwriter said, have a little talk with Jesus. Tell him all about your problems. Come on, somebody. Let him know what's going on. He prayed for 4 things, and he did it boldly. See, some of us don't know how to pray for ourselves. We know how to pray for everybody else. Sometimes, pastors, our lives be so messed up because we keep praying for the people but forget to pray for ourselves. Every now and then, you got to say time out about everybody else's problem and get into your prayer closet and tell God you need some help. Truth be told, if you're not helped, you can't help nobody. You can't give if you don't have an overflow. Come on, somebody. If you only got $5, you can't loan me 10. Come on, somebody. You need to have an overflow and blessing. God wants to give you an overflow, but the problem is you're not in God's face enough. I would say something, but whether a gold digger like you or not, they're going to be in your face. Come on, somebody. Now, don't be a gold digger to God, but what I'm saying is the more you in his face, the more likely you're going to get something that's in his, that's what I'm trying to say. Let the gold digger say amen. I was playing. He prayed for 4 things. For God's richest blessing upon him. For God to enlarge his territory or property holdings. For God to be with him, to lift his hand to help him. For God to keep him from evil, from all trouble, harm, and pain. Look at how Jabez phrases his prayer request. Oh, that you may bless me indeed. Can you hear the urgency in his voice? Can you hear the vulnerable tone of his request? In Hebrew, adding indeed to this prayer was like adding exclamation points. Or writing a request in all capital letters and underlining it. It is like he is screaming towards and pleading God his request. He asked to be blessed. Blessings does not mean that what we think it means. We think blessing is like God giving us a meal or the car we want. No, to bless in biblical sense means to ask for or impart supernatural favor. When we ask God's blessing, we're not asking for more of what we could get for ourselves. We're crying out for the wonderful, unlimited goodness that only God has the power to know about or give us. Can I talk to you about favor? Yesterday, I was in the concert, and I was like, ooh, and I was jumping up and down. I was like, man, what's wrong with my eyes? My eyes were, am I crying? Jesus. I was so overwhelmed by the favor God has on my life. When he was singing, it just hit me because I had just left a place. A lot of people didn't like me. Then I came here, And J.J. Harrison was up here. And then I text the Virginia Baptist State President, all right? We one church. Follow me now. This is the Virginia Baptist State Convention. This is the whole state of Virginia. All right? Hope he don't kick me off the school board when I tell his story, but it's a favor story. But so he texted me. I said, oh, yeah, I sent you J.J. Harrison's contact information. But, you know, did you hit him up? And then he came back. I ain't going to say the amount, but he said the amount that they be, you know, we can't afford that. And it just hit me overwhelmingly because we ain't paid for him to come. Come on, somebody. Favor is worth more than money. Can y'all hear me right quick? We didn't pay him. We didn't pay. Come on, somebody. We ain't paid for Luther Barnes. We ain't paid for what's her name? Kaylin Hawthorne. We ain't paid for what's the car girl? The Kaylin Carr. We ain't paid when Byron Cage sang. We ain't paid for nobody. Come on, somebody. Can somebody say favor on your life? When other people, the state convention can't afford him. That's all the churches together in the whole state of Virginia that's under the Baptist convention, yet we got what they can't have, and we didn't even buy it with money. Somebody better stand up and say, I don't need no money. All I want is favor. All I want is favor. Favor can buy you a house when you ain't got no job. Favor can let you live good in a furlough time. Favor. They say favor ain't fair because it'll tell you that if you ain't got favor, don't get mad at me. But I'm going to tell you one thing, baby. Favor has been good to me. All I got to do is hold up my hands and say, Lord, you gave me a vision. If it's your vision, you need to give me the provision. If it's your will, it's your bill. God, I need favor. Favor. Some people mad because we got favor. And some people missing their blessing because they keep chattering with folk who ain't got favor. Whew. I'm trying to help somebody. Keep talking about the men and women of God with your messed up, down and out friends. And you ain't gonna never have no favor. Come on, somebody. I don't talk about people that even talk about me because I want my favor. I'm not going to mess up my favor because you hating on me. I'm not going to mess up my favor because you disrespect me. I'm not going to mess up my favor because you don't like me. I'm going to love you like God say love you. I'm going to bless you like God say bless you. Because when I tell you right now, we ain't wrote not one check to none of them artists. Look at your haters and tell them favor ain't fair. Ooh, I want to just drop the mic and sit down, but I got the headset on. If I had the handheld, I'd be done. Rap. Anybody want to be saved, come to the altar. Notice a radical aspect of Jabez's prayer for blessing. He left it entirely up to God to decide what the blessing would be and where, when, and how he will receive them. This kind of radical trust in God's intentions toward us is not in line with the name it and claim it gospel we preach today. Jabez doesn't say, Lord, give me a Land Rover, although I appreciate it, a Hummer or a Benz. He doesn't ask for a promotion, a big office with a window view, or for a 7-figure salary. Instead, Jabez focuses like a marksman wanting nothing more than nothing and nothing less than what God wanted for him. When we seek God's blessing as the ultimate value in life, we are immersing ourselves directly into the pool of his will and the power of purpose for us. All our other needs become secondary to what we really want, which is to become wholly immersed in what God is trying to do in us, through us, and around us for his glory. See, let me tell you a guaranteed byproduct of sincerely seeking God's blessing, your life will be abundantly overflowing. You will receive his supernatural favor. You will receive good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over blessings. This is because you are moving in his direction. Suddenly, the unhindered forces of heaven can begin to accomplish God's perfect will through you. Remember, he came to give you life and to give it to you what? All right. There is a catch, though. You have to ask for it. See, Jesus promised us in Matthew 7:7, ask and it shall be given unto you. And James 4:2 says, you have not because you ask not. Although God's goodness and blessings are limitless, you won't receive your blessing for today if you don't ask for it. Come on, somebody. Some of y'all walking around here not asking God for anything and wondering why you still broke because you ain't asked God for nothing. You got to ask to receive. You can't sit there and just assume it. When Jesus walked by the two blind men, they said, Jehovah Jesus, son of John, son of David, don't leave us. And he said, what you want? It was obvious they wanted to see, but Jesus said, I need you to tell me what you want, then I can give it to you. Come on, somebody. You got to let God know what you want. Now, God will bless you to a certain extent because you're his child. Even the credit bureau spots you 300. So if your credit score 400, you ain't doing good. But when you do not ask, you forfeit certain blessings that he has for you that will only be released by asking. See, I'm going to plagiarize Jabez's prayer because he cracked the prayer code. He didn't name anything specifically because he knew that in his finite mentality and his finite capacity of thinking, he may miss something he should ask his infinite Father. Y'all better watch out now. Instead of saying, give me my wife, my car, my house, Jabez says, oh, will you bless me indeed? He knew if he prayed like that, he covered all bases. The scripture was empowered to work on his behalf in insurmountable possibilities. He asked for whatever blessings may be out there in the third heaven waiting to be delivered to him. You may be specifically asking for a promotion, but some people that are jealous of you at the office may need to be removed first, or they may destroy your opportunity. But if you say, oh, Lord, bless me indeed. However you want to bless me, just bless me. I don't care how you bless me. You can bless me through my enemy if you want to. You can bless me through my friend. I don't care how you bless me. Any way you want to bless me, just bless me. Give me what it is you want me to have, Lord. Make me a blessing. Give me an overflowing blessing. Pressed down, shaking together, and running over. Lord, bless me indeed. Give me favor where I don't even need a check. Yeah. You know, my prayer for the church is always, Lord, fulfill your vision. That's my prayer for the church every day. Lord, fulfill your vision, not my vision. That's why we get J.J. Harrison for free. Now, I ain't telling y'all he ain't charged somebody. So don't be telling him, Maxwell said he ain't paid nothing. Maxwell didn't pay nothing. New Beach Road didn't pay nothing. Somebody paid for it. Favor will make people give unto you. People wonder why you always, I don't hang around preachers because they got everything I got. You got a church, I got a church. I talk to you, we cool. We can talk about scripture and stuff like that. That's good. But I need to hang around some politicians. I need to hang around the people that run Ferguson. I need to hang around the people that can give us something that can help us. And I'm not calling these people evil, but the Bible says the wealth of the wicked is laid up for the righteous, which means too, also means that the secular organization will give unto you. But some of y'all don't have no relationship with nobody, so you can't get. No. I mean, if I don't know you, I just ain't, giving you my money unless God tell me to. Anyway, perhaps you think your name is just another word for pain or trouble, or that the legacy you have been handed from your family circumstances is nothing but a liability. You just don't feel like a candidate for blessings. Or maybe you think God only blesses you to a certain amount during certain time spans. Or if you think like this, you are limiting the power of God in your life. When Moses asked God who should he tell Pharaoh sent him, God said, tell him I am sent you. What God was telling Moses was he was everything and anything Moses needed him to be. The very nature of God is to have so much goodness that it overflows into our unworthy lives. See, David lets us know in Psalm 23 that he doesn't bless us because of us or our worthiness, but that he blesses us for his name's sake. Oh, if you think of God any other way, change your feeble thinking. God doesn't bless you for you. That's why, I don't deserve it, I don't deserve it, No, you don't, but stop telling God that. He might begin to think that. We already know you unworthy. He already say we all fall short of the glory of God. But I need you to be like Jabez. Lord, bless me indeed. Keep me from sinning. Keep me out of harm's way. Make me better. Forgive me of what I'm doing. I know I'm messed up and I know I'm wretched. But God, you said you want to give me a good measure blessing. I want my good measure blessing. I'm tired of looking out here and seeing broke Christians all the time. I'm tired of the world being more blessed than the people of God. God said you're supposed to be the head and not the tail, above and not beneath, the lender and not the borrower. But you riding around here with only Christian bumper stickers holding your raggedy car together. I need you to be blessed. Goodness. Make it. Ooh, my spirit going off right now. Make it a commitment to ask God to bless you every day and to bless you abundantly while he's doing it. God's blessings are only limited by us, not by his lack of resources, power, or willingness to give. See, faith. Even I need to have more faith. More people will come if I have more faith. Come on, somebody. We'll have more blessings if I have more faith. And my faith has to increase. That's why I'm just asking God. I know you got to have enemies around you. I know you got to have people around you. But I'm asking God to just purge some people that's saved and they ain't really with us. You know, some people here just to spy. Some folk ain't even in the choir to sing. They did that to report back to the enemy. But I need you to begin to ask, and at your job, can I talk to you? Because see, this is my job. That's what people don't understand. Just like you got haters on your job. You do know this is a call, but it's still a job. In the same way you got haters in your cubicles. Same way you got haters in the office down there. Oh, come on, somebody. So when I'm talking about, don't worry about it being me. I'm just speaking in generality, because half the time I ain't even thinking about people specifically. I just know what goes on in life. And I need you to know that God want to bless you and just say, bless me indeed. And because God may have to move some people out your way to get you blessed, because some folk that you think you cool with may be talking about you. Come on, somebody. But if you say, Lord, bless me indeed, God is like air traffic control. He can't land everything at the same time. He got to move some people out the way. And sometimes God will have you in a holding pattern, waiting to land where he wants to land your blessing, because he needs to move to the breeze and the enemies out the way. Some of y'all, God already has spoke a blessing over your life, just like Daniel. That's why we're on this 21-day fast. Don't mess it up, baby. If you messed up, repent and make sure you do right this week, because I'm believing that God has already answered your prayers, but you're in a holding pattern right now. And God is saying, I've already spoke a vision over your life, but I got you in a holding pattern because I can't land you right now because your enemy is right there. Once I move him over here and move this cubicle over there, I'm going to land you right here in this front office. But I got to move some stuff. I got to take this plane off. I got to put this plane over here. I got to... You're already blessed. You're just in a holding pattern. "21-day holding pattern. But Lord, if you bless Dangler 21 days, I'm believing you blessing everybody here in 21 days, if they faithful. Whew. No more excuses. See, Jabez was blessed because he refused to let any obstacle get in his way. He didn't care. You know what how I do obstacles? See, when folk be in my way, I just keep walking. Oh, you know what? I got to step on your head. Yeah. He'll make your enemies your. There you go. Truth be told, when airplanes, doing 9/11, I was a little scared to fly, but I flew. But one day we was on the runway, and we had to turn around, but I thought somebody was going to bomb the plane. I didn't know what was going on. They said there's too much of a tailwind, and we need a little more headwind to lift off. So we're going to go to the other runway, and we're going to take off to the north instead of the south, or whatever they were saying, because they needed the headwind to get up under the wings to help lift the aircraft up. Oh, y'all don't hear what I'm saying? See, you got to understand, you need some turbulence in your life sometimes. You need some headwind in your life. You need some enemies in your life, because that headwind that's in your way will begin to lift you up quicker, and they'll be your stepping stool to take you to another level in God. Stop getting mad at your enemies and just step on their head and keep on walking. Don't you let obstacles mess your life up. No more excuses, church. Jabez was cursed in the womb by his own mother, but he lived a victorious life. Stop limiting yourself by what your brother, mother, father, sister, friends, or enemies think of you. Don't let your occupation, ethnicity, weight, or looks cause you to limit your possibilities. What counts is knowing you are a child of God, and tell him like Jacob, I'm not going to let you go until you bless me. Through a simple prayer, you can change your life. Jabez sets a dynamic example of prayer for us. When we face pain or suffering, difficulty or trouble, we must learn to cry out to the Lord for help. If we fail to cry out, we act foolishly. For the Lord promises to hear our prayer and to help us through pain, suffering, and trouble. No matter what we may face, God promises to hear our prayer and to help us through pain, suffering, and trouble. No matter what we may face, God promises to help us. There are only two reasons why we fail to receive help. We simply neglect to ask, or we are failing to live obediently before the Lord. If we sin, the Lord doesn't hear us. That's why we got to make sure we ask for forgiveness. And if we do not ask, the Lord cannot hear us, for we did not lift up our voices to him. But if we walk obediently as a child should walk before his father, and if we ask for help, the Lord will hear us. He will hear us as any loving father will hear his obedient child. The Lord will do for us just as he did for Jabez. He will pour out his richest blessings upon us. He will enlarge our territory, meet our every need. He will grant his presence, guiding and helping us every step of the way through whatever pain or trouble may confront us. He will deliver us from evil, strengthen us to walk victoriously through all suffering and pain, trouble, and difficulty. If you don't believe me, let me give you what God says his own word as I take my seat. Matthew 7:7 says, ask and it shall be given to you. Seek and ye shall find. Knock and it shall be opened. Mark 11:24 says, there I say unto you, whatever you shall ask and you desire, when you pray, believe that ye have received them and ye shall have them. Luke 18:1 says, and he spake a parable unto them to this end, that men ought always to pray and not faint. And John 15:7 says, if ye abide in me and my words abide in you, ye shall ask what ye will and it shall be done unto you. John 16:24, hitherto I say, have ye asked nothing in my name, ask and it shall receive it, that your joy may be full. James 15:13 through 14 says, is any among you afflicted? Let him pray. Is any merry? Let him sing psalms. Is any sick among you? Let him call for the elders of the church and let them pray over him. Anoint him with oil in the name of the Lord and he will be healed. Somebody better watch out. 1 John 3:22, and whatever ye ask, we will receive because we keep his commandment and he does bless us. I need you to begin to open your mouth and tell God what you want. If you're asking for it, he'll give it to you. Have a little talk with Jesus. Tell him all about your sorrow. He will comfort you. He will walk with you. Tell God what you want. Tell him. Ooh. Some of us are scared to be blessed. Every time God sends us a blessing, we get scared and reject it because our carnal nature makes us feel as though we are unworthy. The problem is you think he's blessing you for you. No, baby. Let me read Psalm 23, 1 through 6. The Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want. He making me to what? Lay down in green pastures. If you won't lay down in green pastures, he'll make you take a blessing of the wild. He leadeth me beside the still waters. He restoreth my soul. He leadeth me in the path of righteousness. For what? His name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. For thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff shall comfort me. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of my enemies. Thou anointest my head with oil. My cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Can I talk to you for a little while? Even if I make a mistake, grace and mercy gonna follow me. If I make a mistake and walk down the lion house, grace and mercy still gonna be there right there with me. If I can just be like Jabez and say, Lord, bless me. Bless me indeed. I don't care how you bless me. Just bless me. Remember Mark chapter 9. When the boy had the epileptic seizures, the boy came to Jesus, and the daddy said, Lord, however you want to bless me, just bless me. I don't care how you do it. I don't care how you heal me. Can I talk to somebody? Every now and then, God may heal you. God may deliver you in a way you don't want. Stop rejecting your blessings. God took dirt from the ground, spit in his hands, and healed somebody. Sometimes God will spit on you and bless you. Y'all don't hear what I'm saying. Can you imagine him spitting and just putting mud on your face, spit and saliva in your eyes to heal you? I'm sure that blind man had to be like, what in the world is going on? Remember, Naaman, he had to go to the dirty Jordan River and dip in the water 7 times, and God healed him. The problem is you trying to make God bless you how you want to get blessed. Sometimes God will put somebody around you that don't even like you and still bless you. Come on, somebody. Some folk, y'all don't hear what I'm saying. Some folk at church don't even want to be here, but they the biggest tithers, and I thank you for your gifts. Some people don't even like you, but they still bless you on your job because they trying to get close to you so they can mess you up. But I need you to go back to Charlotte's Web and understand that they were feeding Wilbur just to mess him up, but you can still take your blessing. Y'all don't hear me what I'm saying. A lot of politicians come to me for advice, and they were asking me, and they were telling me what they didn't want to take money from certain things and certain people, and that was going to be their platform. And they looked at me and they're like, what you think? I think you should do whatever you want to do. But I wouldn't do it. As long as you don't do what it is they want you to do, if it go against your morals, take the money for your campaign. The wealth of the wicked is laid up for the righteous. Look, I believe in gun control, but I got a gun. Don't come around the house talking. I'm just saying. But I believe that you should have background checks. I ain't shot nobody yet, so I should keep my gun. And if I shoot somebody, it's a great reason. But what I'm saying is, if the NRA gave me money, I'm going to take the money. Why? Because I need it for my campaign. But I'm still ain't going to promote what it is you want me to promote. Just because you gave me the money, I ain't signed no contract for it. Now, if you got to sign a contract, don't take the money. But most folks give you money to try to influence you. Oh, y'all don't hear what I'm saying. But you need to begin to understand that God sometimes bless you, and it's through mess. He bless you, and it ain't the way you want to be blessed. He'll make your enemies change their mind about you and bless you, and you all worried. Take it. Still be vigilant. Trustee Shaw taught me that. He's like, yeah, you know, they give you this, but watch out, bro. They still ain't totally delivered yet. Take the check, but run. You feel me? So what I'm saying is this. God wants to bless you. And let me close right here. I got to read this poem somebody sent me, and I'm here. It's by Miss Williamson. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. You playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightening about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We are all meant to shine as children do. We were born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. It's not just in some of us. It's in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. I need you to walk around here like Jabez and begin to pray that God may bless you indeed. Don't be ashamed when people bless you. When people talk about pastors that got jets and all that stuff, I don't talk about them. One day I may have one. Because truth be told, flying out of Newport News is definitely harder than flying out of Atlanta. Half time I don't go preach because by the time I get back, I miss church. All them connecting flights we got to take out of here. Only thing Newport News do is you go to North Carolina, you go to Charlotte and Atlanta. Ain't going nowhere else. Once you get there, you can figure out where you want to go. Ain't going but the two cities. Norfolk go to about 4. You feel me? So at the end of the day, I ain't saying that's what I want, but I'm saying at the end of the day, you never know why God is blessing someone. So stop getting mad about what they're blessed, how they're blessed. Some of them folk preach some of them people preach more than 7 times a week. And there's only 7 days in a week. So you never know what they need. But the thing about it is don't knock what somebody else get so God can bless you abundantly. Some of us are limiting our blessing because we get mad at the blessings other people have. God has enough blessings for everyone. Truth be told, some of our blessings are just sitting up in the third heaven because we have not called them down and manifested them right down here in the first heaven. That's all. Ask God to bless you indeed, because in this administration, in this time, it's showing you that you can't afford to live from check to check. Ask God to give you an entrepreneurial endeavor. Ask God to give you some type of business knowledge to make sure that you don't have to worry about being paid a check all the time. Come on, somebody. And some of y'all might need jobs. Maxwell Realty is coming to a city near you soon. Seriously. But what I'm saying, ask God to bless you indeed. Give you entrepreneurial ideas. Give you even side jobs. Some of y'all can cook good. Some of y'all. Make and sell your cupcakes. Some of you all do great in leadership. You may want to teach workshops. But just make sure that you have another stream of income and ask God to upgrade you. Ask him to give you an overflowing blessing, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. Don't be ashamed to ask God for a blessing, because, in fact, this is what you need to say, Lord, make me a blessing. Because if he makes you a blessing, you're more than blessed because you're able to bless other people. God wants to bless you because he can trust you to be a steward over his resources. Once you understand that that's not your money, it's God's money. It's God's money. It's God's car. It's God's house. It's God's family. And however God tells you to steward it, if you're faithful and obedient, he will give you more. Because if you're faithful over a few things, he'll make you ruler over many things. Now, I know it didn't sound like a salvation message, because what I'm trying to do is make you understand that you're supposed to be blessed. But I need some people out there who may not know who Jesus Christ is and may not have a relationship with him to understand that he came to give you life and to give it to you what? More abundantly. He didn't come here for you to be broke. He didn't die on the cross just to save you from hell. He died on the cross to make sure that you can have your overflowing blessing that you had in the Garden of Eden. The Garden of Eden, Eden means in the presence of God. And when they sinned, they began to be outside the presence of God. But because of Jesus Christ, now you're reconciled back to him. And you're able to go to the throne of God boldly and say, God, bless me. Bless me indeed. You couldn't ask that in the Old Testament. You had to go through the prophet or the priest or somebody. But today you don't have to do Hail Marys anymore. You can go directly to Jesus. But you have to have a relationship with him. And he makes it clear. Deacon Allen, he says, no one can get to the Father except through me, which is Jesus. Is there 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, or 8?
Hello, I'm Pastor Willard Maxwell of New Beech Grove, and I just wanted to let you know I believe that God is speaking directly to us through this ministry. And I believe that there may be some messages that you've missed that are life-changing for you and you need to take the time to order. Or maybe there's some message that you heard that you know a friend or a co-worker or a family member, even an enemy's life may be changed. And let me tell you this, in the Bible it says, don't stack up treasures here on earth that the moth will eat or the water will wash away. It says stack up your treasures in heaven where they will last for eternity. John says, in my Father's house there's many mansions. If it were not so, I would have told you. What I'm telling you is this: the way you stack up your crown and build your mansions in heaven is when you give a life-changing word to someone or share salvation. You don't have to be the one bringing the word. You can just buy the word and send it to someone, and you're stacking up treasures in heaven. I'm believing that you're going to make the right decision and you're going to get this series or get a CD or get a DVD for somebody. It's going to be life-changing, and instead of building up treasures here on earth, you're going to take the time to build up the treasures in eternity where you will live with your Father forever. Be blessed.